I'm David Rojas Leon. I'm from Bogota, Colombia. I'm part of a generation that hasn't lived a single day without conflict in our country. Since 1958, the conflict has directly affected millions of Colombians, including civilians, combatants, and political leaders. During the last 5 decades, thousands of Colombians have suffered from crimes resulting from an endless and senseless war, including death during combats, terrorist attacks, kidnapping, massacres, sexual violence, internal forced displacement, among others. Although the conflict has not directly affected 100% of the population in Colombia, we are all victims, and everyone knows someone who has been directly impacted. Direct victims are not only suffering from the pain caused by the traumatic experiences, but also by the stigma around their situations. The victimization dynamics generate a vicious circle where some victims can overcome their bad experiences, whereas others become perpetrators as part of the negative feedback loop. Since last year, the government has undertaken a peace negotiation process. Again, this process has been fraught with difficulties. It is a fragile process that could be easily suspended or violated. A huge portion of Colombia's citizens and political leaders don't trust the process, arguing the dangers of making concessions. They consider the process a sign of weakness. While peace talks may be taking place thousands of miles away in Cuba, this is a people's peace process. Every Colombian has a place at the negotiation table. In the cities and towns of the country, there is a constant need for reconciliation and negotiation. We experience violence on a daily basis, not only with actions, but also with words and attitudes, obstructing the conditions for a lasting peace. There are a number of invisible leaders who undertake the hard labor of peacemaking around the country. A group of peace pioneers has been combining their skills and knowledge with the abilities of their communities, creating experiences addressing living in peace as a factor of survival. They comprise the stories of the victims to dignify their memory. The beauty of their existences is present in artwork, music, and culture. They have turned their pain into relief and their bitter tears into hopeful smiles. Drawing upon imagination, sense of humor, storytelling, and arts. Peace needs to be created, giving room to be designed. That's why my purpose is to design tools for peacemaking, bring together the experiences and knowledge of those pioneers, and show how their actions have healed not only victims but also entire communities. During the summer, my goal is to learn some of the experiences by hearing them from first hand. There are several possible audiences to work with, including direct victims, ex-combatants, and everyday citizens who need to be educated in order to envision the future. However, my interest lies in working with middle and high school students, an appropriate target audience. Young men and women facing adolescence are exposed to new challenges and social struggles, building their character and identity. During the fall semester, my goal is to work with teenagers, children of Colombian immigrants in schools in Queens, the Bronx, and Brooklyn, creating processes of peacemaking with the students in these areas. Once I have identified a key partner in Bogota and evaluated the process with the students in the US, my goal is to prototype the processes in certain public schools in Bogota during next spring semester, testing its use and relevance.
my ultimate goal is to create an intervention that transforms the vicious circle into a virtuous circle.